KATsINA State, which is located in the Sahel Savannah of northwestern Nigeria, was carved out of the then Kaduna State on the 23rd of September 1987. The state is bordered by the Niger Republic to the north, Jigawa and Kano states to the east, Kaduna State to the south, and Zamfara State to the west. With a land mass of about 24,192 square kilometers and a population of over 6 million spread across 34 local government areas. According to the 2006 population census, the state is the fourth largest in the country due to its population. The decision by the then military administration of General Ibrahim Babangida to create the state was received with happiness by most citizens of the state, who believed that the creation will bring development closer to them.
That time, KATsINA was a local government. So when it was carved out of Kaduna, naturally, our expectations were high. One, development. Two, even the share what is to come to the state in terms of fund allocation.
It really arouses a very sentimental, touchy feeling. I was in Lagos at the material time, and hearing that we have joined the League of New States was one of the happiest news I had ever received in my life.
I was so happy to see that my state is going to be developed, because on those days we are under Kaduna State. So anything you want, you have to start traveling from KATsINA to Kaduna.
From a mere local government area 33 years ago, the state had been transformed into one of the fastest developing states in the country.
When the state was created, it was just like a local government headquarters. Good government now is what it looks like. Compared with any other state capital, much more than even many older state capitals. So that shows that people of the state have been working assiduously to make sure that we achieve the purpose for which the state was created.
Ina gorin ci gaban da samu akan abun ga ci gaba na gwamnati, inda da ban da aiki yanzu na samu aiki. A ga wannan ba karamin ci gaba ne, na akalla mu a karamar hukumar Inga an samu ma'aikata sama da mutum 20 da wani abu wanda suka samu aiki a cikin wannan gwamnati. Kaga da ci gaba ne aka samu a wannan jihar.
Daga lokacin da aka kirkire ta zuwa yanzu ta samu ci gaba na rayuwa wanda ba a yi tunanin za ta samu ba. Gaskiya mun gode Allah sosai, mu jihar KATsINA mun samu ci gaba ta bangarori da dama da yawa.
Successive administrations in the state have ensured the opening up of the state with infrastructural development cutting across its 3 senatorial districts. From roads to schools, hospitals, and government institutions that have been developed in the last 3 decades in KATsINA State, the hope and yearning of the citizenry have been kept alive.
Definitely, whenever they created a state, development will really come. So there's really many, all the sectors, infrastructure, and also education, health. So that's improvement. Definitely, there's serious development in the state.
That KATsINA State had been blessed with visionary leaders over the years is easily discernible in the level of progress made so far in both infrastructural and human capital development. The advent of the Right Honorable Aminu Bello Masari administration in the state by 2015 had further consolidated the studied and measured steps being taken by the state in its journey to greatness.
When Aminu Bello Masari came as the governor of KATsINA State, he met a lot of challenges. We all know that recession experience globally. Despite that challenge, and another challenge is that the demand, the expectation of the people, that is the electorate in the states. So these are some of the challenges Governor Aminu Bello Masari met on ground when he became the governor of KATsINA State.
The seasoned administrator and former Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives had his job well cut out, having appeared on the scene at a critical time when the state is not only being threatened by insecurity occasioned by the activities of armed bandits, but is equally challenged by dwindling revenue as a result of wind of economic recession blowing across the globe.
Luckily enough for us in KATsINA, we did not meet unpaid salary, but we met over 11 billion unpaid accrued pension and gratuity. So we were able to access this amount and paid off. And again, we put additional over 10 million, getting to 20 million actually, partly because of the Paris Club and the others to continue paying pension and gratuity, especially the accrued gratuity. And also we had from our excess crude, all states were allowed to access up to 10 billion, which we divided between education, health, agriculture, and water resources. So we were able to manage the meager resources through prudent spending and prudent management of the resources.
The first major decision taken by the administration in 2015 after a critical stock taking was the prioritization of its intervention in critical sectors against the backdrop of limited resources accruable to the states.
He didn't so much like what was happening. A transformer will get burnt, it will not be replaced in a good time. Socio-economic activities, are dwindling by the day due to lack of power infrastructure. Now he stepped in, even when we all know that distribution sector has been privatized, but he came in to provide replacement transformers, to construct 3 kV lines, thousands of kilometers, 11 kV lines, thousands of kilometers, low voltage lines, that is 0.415 kV.
Thus, human capital development, which is the bedrock of the growth of any society, was accorded its rightful place, particularly at the foundational level. Massive revamping of primary and secondary educational institutions was embarked upon across the states in order to create a conducive learning environment for the teeming children in the states.
In our restoration agenda, we said we are going to give foundation education priority, that is primary and secondary school education. Because with good primary and secondary education, you will be able to provide entrepreneurship, skill acquisition, basic training in many trades to people who are not able to go for higher education.
Thus, over 9 billion naira have been expended in the last 5 years in the rehabilitation of secondary science and technical vocational schools across the 34 local government areas.
When we came on board, we found a number of schools in KATsINA State dilapidated, and then they need renovation or rehabilitation. From 2015 to date, His Excellency Right Honorable Aminu Bello Masari has done very well in that area. For instance, 7 new secondary schools were constructed across the state.
In fixing the education sector, a deliberate attention was also paid to the provision of furniture and infrastructural materials, students' welfare, as well as training and capacity building for over 32,000 teachers across the states. The State Universal Basic Education Board spearheaded the reconstruction of 1,026 new classrooms and the construction of 1,268 classrooms, along with the provision of 64,348 tables and benches, toilets, boreholes, offices, stores, as well as proper fencing, which were part of the bold initiatives of the administration in repositioning primary education in the states. A unique intervention known as S-Power was also introduced to fix the teacher-student deficits in the states.
Sort of this idea of S-Power. Initially, we started with primary school teachers, where we recruited 5,000. They are supposed to teach for 2 years on a stipend of about 20,000 naira. And we posted them to all the schools. And these 5,000, they apply online. We screen them based on the criteria set up. And believe me, we did that on merit.
The fruits of the administration's massive investments in education is manifesting in the giant leaps the performance of students is bringing up in the various grading examinations across the country.
Anytime you ask him, the first priority will say education, the second priority education, the third, and then this spending all in education has justified that result. I would want to say to you now, between 2015 to date, the total number of candidates who sat for exams during that period are 320,058 candidates. The total percentage we got is 68% for those who got 5 credits and above. And out of it again, 138,612, which is 63%, scored 5 credits including mathematics and English.
The agrarian nature of the state, with over 80% of its citizens being farmers, also necessitated the massive attention paid to the sector by the Masari administration. To this end, a well-thought agricultural policy was launched with a view to addressing the personal challenges facing farmers in the state.
We already have existing seed farms, so we double our efforts to produce the various seeds, be it sorghum, maize, cotton, tomatoes, everything we have. We have these various seed farms, which we were financing. We also finance outgrowers, known people that we know are good farmers that we have already taught good farming practices. We give them the basic seed and then we tell them to produce. So that's the first thing that we do. It's one of the programs that we are continuing to do, and we are pursuing it every year.
A unique and sustainable mechanization program was also introduced by the administration.
Before, what they are doing was to take 6 billion and buy the tractors, and 1 or 2 years, you will not see them at all. But in this case, we said we are going to only finance the interest. And the issue is that this tractor that we have has a tracker. It has a tracker. So if it goes outside KATsINA State, we'll see it. Right now in my handset here, I have the software. It's iTrack. I have 120 tractors, and right now, in real time, I can tell you where all the 120 tractors are right now. In fact, you can take one if you want, and it can show you how much work it has done.
To further unlock the potential of the state and attract investors to harness the agricultural and solid mineral endowments of the state, a first of its kind investment summit was organized by the administration in 2016. The health sector in the state also received a major intervention of the government. This is with a view to improving the weak health care system inherited by the administration. Hence, an ambitious total rehabilitation and remodeling of 8 general hospitals across the state was carried out by the administration.
We have 8 of these general hospitals that were fully and satisfactorily renovated and equipment provided. And the little thing that is remaining is the external works, and all hands are on deck to ensure its completion very soon. One other area that we have recorded significant achievement in health sector is also sustaining the free Medicare, where pregnant women will access a health facility for free and then deliver for free.
Added to this was the renovation and upgrading of the state-owned health training institutions with a view to increasing their carrying capacity, thereby providing additional personnel for the system. Primary health care also received a major boost with the renovation and construction of additional healthcare posts in many communities in the state. The supply of potable water to the citizenry is another major priority area of the present administration in KATsINA State. Thus, apart from the multi-billion naira intervention project in Ajiwa Water Dam, which seeks to double the existing 25 million liters per day capacity of the dam, other dams and water infrastructure in the state are also being repositioned to meet the water needs of KATsINA people.
This is a government of His Excellency Aminu Bello Masari. As part of his restoration agenda, he drive the 3 sectors together and put a heavy investment on that. Heavy investment is, as far as I'm concerned, heavy investment in the sense that this is a situation where we have 3 major gigantic projects that into billions of naira for restoration the actual capacity of the water sector in the state. Ajiwa water sector is one of the major components that touch the environment and KATsINA and its environs. So as far as concerned, the government, when it comes on board, is a matter of urgency. She chiefly deep into the Ajiwa water project.
The methodical approach of the administration to service delivery had also ensured huge leap in addressing environmental challenges facing the state, particularly in the areas of flooding, erosion, and deforestation. The government has since constructed 122 drainages and other related projects in the 34 local government areas, thereby reducing flood-related losses to their barest minimum in the state.
The government in this particular subsector has invested over 6.3 billion naira in constructing about 90 kilometers of drainages, over 1,550 meters of dike and embankment, about 122 culverts, and other structures.
Security of the lives and property, which is a primary function of any government, is also being addressed adequately by the Governor Aminu Bello Masari-led administration. The carrot and stick approach of the administration, which has led to the amnesty and surrendering of arms and ammunition by bandits and other criminal elements, was a product of the realization of the contiguous nature of the state to crisis-prone areas like Zamfara, Niger Republic, and Kaduna states. A joint security approach with the governors of the adjoining states, which was pursued at the initial stage of the administration, had since given way to a more frontal approach by the state governments.
So when we came on board, the governor, who is the chairman of the Security Council of the state, engaged the security agencies and supported them to engage these bandits on combat in order to ensure that they are dealt with.
Thus, the relative peace being enjoyed by the state is attributed to the renewed vigor and massive logistic support by the administration to the various security agencies operating in the states. So far, a total of 4,273,759,480.70 naira had been expended on the provision of allowances, logistics, and infrastructure for the security personnel.
We're happy to see that people are now coming out dealing with the issue of informers. People who either misinform the military or inform the bandits about the movement of security forces, or people who inform and provide information for kidnapping. So we have also amended the law here that cattle rustling and the kidnapping, they attract death sentence. And also rape is life imprisonment. Where there is rape and murder, it is capital punishment.
In line with gender-friendly posture of the Masari administration, the Ministry of Women Affairs in the state had been at the forefront of ensuring welfare of the female folk in the state through various interventions, which include girl-child education, women training and support, empowerment for female farmers, palliatives to IDPs, and support to women during the fasting and COVID-19 lockdown.
Tallafin da ya bamu na makaranta ya ba yaranmu kuma mun gode mun yi amfani da su. Ubangiji Allah sa mishi albarka. Allah ya ƙara ɗaukaka. Saboda yarinya ta an ɗauke ta an ba ta kuɗin makaranta ma an shi 20,000 mun koma ma an shi 20,000 mun masu inifa mun masu takalma mun masu littattafai mun masu biro. An yi ma dangin su gabaki ɗayansu don mun masu mun gode ma Allah kuma mun gode ma gwamna da Allah ba shi incin wannan ɗauka wannan nauyi.
Godiya ga abin da masara Allah ya taimaka mu Allah ya taimaka mu. Allah ƙara buɗi na alheri. Ubangiji Allah ƙara buɗi na alheri Allah ka tsare.
We also did trade fair, our own trade fair, so that to move our women to know what they have experience on their business, on their skill acquisition. We did state trade fair, and we also did zonal trade fair. That is, we have 3 senatorial zones. Daura, we did at Daura, then KATsINA, Batagara local government, then we go to Funtua and did at Funtua local government.
Making the states accessible through the various road projects executed by the administration further received a boost with the recent commencement of a direct weekly flight to and from Abuja, to the admiration of most citizens.
When this administration came, we made some liabilities from the unpaid certificates of valuations, and those projects are supposed to be valued and paid by the previous administration. And despite the economic challenges, Alhaji Aminu Bello Masari's administration is able to pay all the outstanding liabilities worth over 6 billion naira. And we are also able to complete most of the inherited projects under the ministry, where this administration also spent money to the tune of over 7.7 billion naira for the completion of inherited projects.
Wannan mataki gaskiya mun dade muna magana, kuma da yake kamar da na gaya muku da ni da shi wannan gwamna dan uwana mai son ci gaban jihar Katsina kamar da ni ma nake so. Mun zo na ce wani ne wannan matsala, na ce matsalar da ake samu road din ne bai zama developer ba mutane. Yace to akwai irin tallafi wanda sauran jihohi sukan ba kamfanonin airline domin rage radadin asara ko da ba samu ba.
Airline business has a lot of ripple effect. It re-engineered the local economy in all facets: hospitality industry, the transport industry, the investment industry, and the life of the people will greatly be enhanced with this flight coming into KATsINA.
That KATsINA State had maintained course in its journey to greatness under the Aminu Bello Masari administration is certainly not in doubt. Long live KATsINA State, the home of learning and hospitality. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria.